What's up, everybody? This is Ripples in Wales back for another video. I hope you're all doing well and having a great day wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing. We're going to do a second video for today. I'm going to do a bit of a news flash and go over the various stories that I've seen floating around the cryptosphere that may or may not be of interest to you, or they're certainly of interest to me. This space is expanding so quickly right now. I can feel almost there's a squeeze going on in terms of the amount of change occurring at the space over a given timeline is massive. And trying to keep up with that is quite bonkers. Yeah, I wanted to clear something up yesterday from a post that I pushed. I hadn't planned on doing this, but let's do this anyway. Yesterday I posted a fair bit of research I'd done on the. It's in a video. You can go back to my YouTube channel and have a look at it. This is the one of the thumbnails here, and it's to do with BRICS and AIIB. And there's a lot of misinformation going around the BRICS meeting on the 22nd of August, as there always is in the XRP community. There are a lot of poor researchers in this space that I feel jump on the hype train, which really is disappointing to the good researchers in the community, and say that the XRP is going to be backing and underneathing the BRICS currency. It's not. We don't know anything of the sort. What we do know, and this is what we do know, the facts. Let's look at the facts. Is that the BRICS nations have built and circumvented the dollarized system, and they've done that by creating two of their own kind of world banks that are in comparison to the IMF and the World Bank as you know it. Those banks are called the AIIB and the New Development Bank, the NDB, and they help fund the BRICS nations in a sustainable development program. They do not use dollars anymore, so the BRICS nations don't need to go to the IMF anymore for loans in dollars. They can do it in renminbi or other goods, a different basket of currencies. They also don't need to use the SWIFT payment systems, which is a dollarized system, because they have been, at the beck and call of sanctions should they step out of line. And how they've circumvented that is they're going to be circumventing it through the SIP system, which is a SWIFT competing system. Which means that the immensely large BRICS nation pool of people now, and countries and populace and military and expansion and economies, are now in their own free operating financial circle. They've got their own lending facilities, they've got their payment systems, and that makes them very independent. It shows no necessity for the need of the use of the dollar. That is what we know. We also know that they're likely to create their own digital currency backed or pegged to a unit of gold, potentially, according to Jim records. We do know that Saudi Arabia are going to be likely joining them. And the Saudis are the largest exporter of oil in the world, from what I believe is a commodity, and they formally price their oil in dollars. Well, when they join the BRICS nations, they won't be pricing their oil to exporting in dollars potentially. That does not mean the dollar is going to disappear. So what could spur the change in structure in the Western Hemisphere in order to try and compete with this? And why would they need to compete with this? The fractured, siloed Western financial system, as we all know now, has been using the dollar to slush around as its liquidity protocol. Well, if nobody wants to use that dollar, they're going to have to find a different tool of utility and liquidity. Their siloed banking systems in the West and the G7 and the G20 need to become more interoperable. They need to speak better. The IMF, the World Bank, the ECB, and all those creatures, call them creatures, huge institutions, they will be also looking at different tools for liquidity. Because if no one's willing to use a dollar, they can't use it anymore. Why would they want to upgrade their systems in order to become appealing still, or relevant, might be an even greater word? Well, it boils down to the Belt and Road initiative, the BRI, which is a Chinese-led incentive to invest in 150 countries globally. Now, those countries are at the center of Chinese investments, and everybody wants Chinese money at the minute, because the demographics and the economy, the speed of the economy growing in China brings a lot of abundance for all, and everybody is always looking to do trade and keep deals. So the Belt and Road Initiative is like the Silk Road 2.0, a trading route that comes all the way through into Western Europe. Okay, and so in order to participate in that, there's a great likelihood that the Chinese and the BRICS nations will not do business in the dollar system anymore. So this is the kind of segue we're looking at. Are the Western countries, the G7 and G20, trying to upgrade their systems in order to be more appealing to the BRICS nations? And this could be the case. We don't know. It's speculation. Anyway, that wanted to be clear that if I put this in my video yesterday, you can go and have a look at it here. I think, it's this last video I put here, did a deep dive into that, that should cover all things to do with the image that Marvin Gaye brought out, this one here. It's still complex, even after a great deal of research that, but it should scratch the surface. Anyway, this is my Twitter handle. Come and say hi. Give us a like and follow on Twitter, and please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps the algorithm immensely at this. And drop a comment. Come and say hi. Tell me what you think of the video. Tell me if you've got a challenging opinion with it. Tell me. I'd love to hear your views and things. I'm learning with this. We're all learning, so we should explore this together. I'm certainly not any oracle with this. Every day is a school day for me. Listening to so I'm going to jump straight into this here now. And I kind of posted this yesterday, which was the BRICS currency has nothing to do with XRP at all. What it will facilitate is de-dollarization by the reduced need of SWIFT via SIPs and loans in dollars via AIIB and NDB, and this will drive the West to upgrade their siloed systems with a new liquidity tool or get leapfrogged by the BRICS nations. I ran out of text there. Anyway, listen to this scientific investor and what he has to say.
Again, looking at the crypto market, XRP ledger is what we are interested in. XRP is the asset what we like to know about. XRP is repeating a historical pattern after 5 years. So if you have been waiting this long as an XRP holder, this is going to be interesting for you. As you learn through the price action, it does give you the idea that something important is happening. Now this actually roots from this tweet. And if you actually go back,
shout out to Crypto Insights.
Action, yes, it is true. Then you look at the general narrative of the market, then you look at the news cycle, then you look at how the team is building value around it. And it kind of shows you, yes, it's not only Ripple, it's the entire...
And that's a huge thing what he was saying there, that he's looking at everything from the markets to the news, to the charts, to the growth of the XRPL. And then you can see that, the change in structure that we're seeing in the XRP chart, which is forming, a once in a 5-year move at the minute, is echoing the larger narratives. Okay, so Daniel Kawasaki giving XRP a mention, posted by DAI.
Everybody listening, the question is, what are you doing? What are they doing? I get so frustrated. I think this is the biggest bargain of all. It's silver. It's about $35 for the thing. I remember I was paying $50 for this thing. So this is still undervalued, but people would still rather save this.
I know.
That's how brainwashed they are. I'm going, can't you guys see what's happening? No. I was told to save this. Well, why don't you save silver? Why don't you save XRP, Bitcoin? Why are you saving this when you know they're printing trillions of it right now?
There you go. Buy into deflationary assets. Ripple posts out, ready to build real value. Join our innovative team as we work to transform the future of finance. They're really ramping up their hiring spree. Blockchain Bracker, breakout in July, and after the rapid descent back to the 200-week moving average, XRP BTC pauses to build its support for the last 9 days. We can look at this on this chart here. This is XRP BTC, and we can see the, I think I've got the 200-day posted up there. Excuse me. We can see that it's forming the baseline there and getting some support in, which is an interesting move. We'll just have to see how that plays out. Digital Perspectives, echoing a tweet by Lord XRP. Here are a few partnerships from Ripple, and the research in every single one. This is so huge. Look at that number of interesting partnerships on the financial level. I mean, when we're still at 50 pence in the UK, it's unbelievable. Zema building some new stuff. yeah, you know, they've got some Pro out, which I haven't signed up to yet, but I will do. What else did I want to post? This blockchain back again. Oh yeah, it's Jim Rickards, an interview back from 2018, Digital Asset Investor, reposted.
So here's a preview of the future. When I say the future, everything on the slide is already in development or working. So this is not science fiction. This is not something for the 22nd century. It's happening now. Basically, China and Russia are building their own cryptocurrency system. Now, when I say cryptocurrency, don't go out and buy Bitcoin. I don't like Bitcoin. I think it's the worst thing you could do. But the world of cryptocurrencies is not limited to Bitcoin. There are actually over 2,000 cryptocurrencies, some of them quite small. But you can go home tonight with the right software. You could invent your own cryptocurrency called the Icon coin. But Russia and China are developing their own. What used to be called the blockchain, today people call it the distributed ledger. So this is distributed ledger technology. They're developing their own coin or token. It'll be heavily encrypted, military-grade encryption, with their own pipes, meaning their own kind of private internet. And imagine an economy that looks like the following. So Iran sells oil to China. North Korea sells weapons to Iran. China sells infrastructure to Russia. Russia sells weapons to China. Russians take a vacation in Turkey because it's a pretty country, and so on. So I've just described a whole trading network, and imagine it's all done with this cryptocurrency. So all we do is keep score. And you can keep score with baseball cards, bottle caps. I mean, it doesn't have to be money to keep score. It's just a way of keeping track. Pegged to the SDR, the special drawing right, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Managed through a cryptocurrency system that's encrypted and secure. And then every now and then, once a month, once a quarter, once a year, we look at the chits and we decide who owes what to whom, and we settle up in gold. And we put the gold on a plane, fly it over to the other guy, and there it is. So this is a combination of a 21st cryptocurrency system with a 19th century or 5th century BC, if you like, gold system. You're combining the two, the oldest form of money and the newest form of money.
This is true, you know, and we've got to see the moves that BRICS nations are making there. Just in, India completes its first crude oil payment in UAE in rupees. Very big thing. Officially ditching the US dollar for bilateral trade. Well, I don't know if it's ditched it completely. That's a bit of a speculative thing to say. But yeah, you know, they're not using the dollar to trade. What else did I want to bring up here? There is Michael Burry. Very interesting this. Michael Burry just loaded up a huge short position against the US stock market. Shout out to Alex Cobb. The last time he held a bet against the US was 15 years ago. Do you remember that, The Big Short, the film? I pulled up an article, I think. Big Short, Michael Burry takes a big bet against the market. Now, this is really interesting. We don't need to read the article. For 1.6 billion to work betting against the stock market. Now, Burry's not afraid of voicing his concerns, and he's a bit of a truth speaker. Hedera Hashgraph, huge news, has been surged of 15% of the US Federal Reserve's instant payment platform FedNow. Added drop the token has now rallied 50%. So basically, the Fed Reserve came out and said that they might be using it in their payments flows, and there's been a big bolt in the price action to do with that. FedNow, Hedera, listen.
Transaction would flow through Hedera. So it's a combination of the Hedera consensus service as well as the tokenization service, and it would end up being, you know, many millions of transactions per day at scale. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal for Hedera. It's a big deal for the industry, and we're excited to see that FedNow had the position that they're confident enough in the company at Drop and in Hedera that they...
Can't help forgetting that Kendra Hill messaged me and DM'd me and told me back in the day to buy a shed load of Hedera, which I followed her actions through and did, and I'm grateful I did. I mean, I would like to buy a whole lot more. I'll just wait for it to cool down a little bit, but that is a huge canary in the coal mine there. Yeah, so that's like the formative things that I found straight away. There is one more thing by Rosie Rios. Listen to this.
When you think about the intergenerational wealth transfer that's going to go on, what do you think about?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. And if you're only thinking about it now, you're behind the 8 ball. The train has left the station. I keep saying that, and it's absolutely true, especially when it comes to this topic.
Generation wealth is changing, and the train has left the station. Just take note of that right now, because the transfer, and this is why we should not underestimate this huge opportunity that's in front of us in many fields and aspects. There is a watershed and divide change going on the planet, okay, in the financial sectors, and you have a chance to participate in it. Okay, it's so big, and it's a case of having a diverse asset base in these technologies, these layer 1 protocols, all of them. You know, don't be just pinned to one. Sam Bankman-Fried, I heard some news about him, but there's not much going on really in the other side of the news. Binance seeks protective order against the SEC's phishing expedition. BTC price breakout by the end of August. That was interesting. That brought up an interesting thought. By the end of August, BTC breakout, and we've got, you know, the green sock of BTC under the bearable guys calendar here for the beginning of September. And, you know, you've got these ETF filings. So there was another kind of news that I sought out there. Hot stories. Where was it? Was it this one? An ETF will bring a revolution for Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies. Now, just one thing to close off before we go. Right, we're looking at the BTC chart here. It's in the kind of this consolidation and a pullback. Okay, and you can see that it's ready to make a move north. Okay, all you're waiting for is this news story. Okay, and what would fuel it the most? An ETF would bring a revolution for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And you're looking at the calendar, looking at the chart of BTC and thinking, well, that's quite interesting. That would take it back up to the shoulder point. You know, there would probably be a massive sell-off. So they're trying to lure retail back in. And I think they'll probably push an ETF through pretty soon. And I wonder whether that, you know, coincide with the regulation change or the regulation molasses. Anyway, who knows? I hope that has been useful as a quick news update on things. There's another one to come later on. Until the next video, hope you're all doing well and be blessed.